Well, welcome to the Business Spotlight Series. My name is Tanner O'Brien. I'm a senior partner here at Action Coach in Central Texas. Today, I'm sitting down with Zac Ganey and Jacob Feldman of US Turf. So excited to be jumping in, talking about business, talking about kind of all this fun stuff that we call entrepreneurship these days, and the crazy journey that some of that can accompany as we go through here. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time for being here with me today. Why don't we just start with a little bit of background? Share with us kind of who you are, what, like 10,000 foot view. What's your background? And then tell us a little bit about US Turf.
Yeah, so our background, we actually moved out here from Las Vegas, Nevada. We started the company there as just a smaller landscape company almost 7 years ago. And kind of started out just doing like tree trimming, tree removal, backyard cleanup, stuff like that. And then kind of just progressed and progressed from there, got into doing more custom design work, and then kind of figured that turf was kind of where we wanted to be at. And then just kind of blew it up from there. And then now we're the biggest turf company in Nevada, one of the biggest in the country. So we expanded out to here, out to Austin, a little over a year and a half ago, and we've just been moving and grooving out here ever since.
That is fantastic. Jacob, what's your background? What give us kind of 10,000 foot view of you.
So, me and Zach, we started working for the company at the same time. He came out here about a year and a half ago to start this branch out here. I followed him out about 6 months ago. So I moved here at the beginning of March, I believe. I realized that there was a lot more potential out here and a lot more growth that needed to take place. And I was just eager to jump at the bit to take this opportunity to really get into an untapped market here in Austin. And also Zach's one of my best buddies. So I felt like what better opportunity to take up than go, kind of help him replicate the same business model that we had in Las Vegas.
Very cool. And so for both y'all, how has that transition been now being here in the Austin area? Liking it? Tell me kind of your experience with making the transition here.
I think we both I love it out here. It's like a breath of fresh air coming from Las Vegas out to here. I know we're not too far in the south, but it's like the southern hospitality out here compared to Vegas is it just like hits you right in the face, I guess you could say. And it's been awesome. We've been having a lot of fun getting the ball rolling and stuff. So
Yeah, it's a lot different from Las Vegas in many different aspects, but Austin's pretty welcoming, and just the difference of types of people that we deal with from Las Vegas to here. It almost seems like Las Vegas people were, I don't want to say miserable, but that heat definitely can take a toll on people for sure. So it seems like everyone out here is a lot more, welcoming and just a lot more friendly overall. So it's definitely, I love it out here. When I lived in Vegas, I almost couldn't see myself living anywhere else until I visited him out here a few times. And now I could never see myself living in Vegas again.
Oh, that's awesome. I always have to ask just generally about that question because I'm originally from North Iowa. I moved down in 2018, one of those situations where I'm like, this is the best move I've ever made. I can't imagine like being anywhere else now. I'm so glad I chose the Austin area. So I was always just curious on other people's experience and thoughts there. So appreciate you indulging me in that question
Oh
a little
yeah,
bit.
I think
Uh,
we're in the same boat.
yeah.
So that's awesome. So I'm curious when you look at the business today. So y'all have kind of different roles, different hats that you get to wear within the business. Take me through kind of the role that you each currently play in the business, or the roles plural that you get to play, if that's part of the job at this point.
Um, so I mean, I kind of just look over like the day to day. I just go stop between jobs through the day. We have multiple jobs going on every day. Just trying to make sure things are up to par, make sure the guys are all good and everything. And then just trying to work on expanding us, getting bigger and bigger. We're actually in Vegas. We wholesale turf and pavers and a bunch of other material to like other landscape companies, and so we're planning on moving that out here as well. So we're looking for a bigger warehouse and stuff at the moment. Yeah, just kind of trying to keep things flowing so where we can get bigger and bigger and just recreate the Vegas market here for us.
Yeah, so he kind of as you can imagine being an owner, he's got a lot on his plate. So me being the lead estimator, I definitely try to take as much off of his plate as possible. So I do sales for the most part, but anything that he can't take care of, or if he doesn't have time to take care of it, I'm usually there on spot trying to make up for, you know, whatever he can't get to. I try to take care of it as much as possible. I like to take on as many roles as possible because this, you know, we are expanding quicker than a lot of companies I feel like are. And it was the same way in Vegas. We expanded so rapidly that we almost didn't really have time to take it in. But now that we've gone through that once already, I feel like we have a better idea of how to tackle obstacles that do come our way. But thankfully, you know, we got each other's back for the most part. So it's nice having I can call him whenever I can't figure something out, and if I can't figure something out, then he definitely knows what it is. So that's the nice side about having him here, and then me, I just kind of do the dirty work sometimes if I have to.
I love it. So I want to, jump onto that for a second. You'd mentioned expanding really quickly, and there's some potential challenges that come with the fact that very fast expansion, very fast growth. Uh, Things tend to break along the way. Systems, processes, things like that. What have been some of the lessons y'all have learned going through kind of some massive expansion out in Vegas, and now getting ready to have kind of that same type of expansion out here? What are some lessons learned along the way that is going to allow for continued success here?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing for me in the beginning was getting used to like the new types of material that we were dealing with out here. Because obviously, stuff that we use under the turf and around the turf and stuff in Vegas is completely different from here. So having to get used to that was a struggle. And then just trying to kind of figure out where our pricing needed to be for everything to work. Labor out here is quite a bit more expensive than Vegas, and material and stuff is more expensive. So figuring out pricing was kind of took us a little while to figure out. But I think the biggest challenge was taking our whole marketing thing that we have going for us in Vegas and getting that out here. And we're still barely just getting that completely going right now. We have a great marketing team, but just because the Vegas location is so big, it took a bunch of time. So that's been like the slowest process getting that going. So once that's all set in stone, I think it's gonna just go astronomically up from there. So
Something that I've noticed is, you know, this is pretty common for any business owner, but, you know, finding quality laborers as well is something that you have to take into account. You know, like he was saying, the labor is a little bit more expensive here, but that's just mainly because the cost of living, I feel like, is a little bit more expensive here than Vegas. So, it's been tough to, I mean, I haven't said it's been, or I can't say it's been tough because, you know, we've been doing this for almost 7 years now. So we know the ins and outs, and it's more a sense just getting guys who are eager to learn and eager to, you know, who actually have a passion for transitioning, you know, people's yards who don't look the best into making them something beautiful. And, you know, when I first started doing this, it wasn't necessarily my passion, but now I can truly say that this is definitely something that I'm going to be doing the rest of my life for sure. And finding people like that want to, you know, just continuously get better and better, it's something that's tough to find because a lot of people are just looking at most jobs as, oh, this is something that's going to put my food on the table. So we like to give people the opportunity to grow as well. So something that is special about US Turf is there's a lot of opportunity to grow within the company. So, you know, the more that you spend your time with us learning and getting better, then the more we're going to take care of you.
and I
Love
mean
that. So how?
it sorry. I was gonna add like pretty much all of our employees, like even in Vegas and here, like it's like working for us is like a different type of job. So, I mean, we're two young guys. We like to have fun. We're just like normal people. So like everyone always loves working with us.
And we understand that things come up in life sometimes. So it's, we definitely take our work extremely seriously, but we also understand that life happens occasionally. So there's some things that are inevitable in life, and we definitely give our people a little bit of a leeway as far as that goes. But again, this is a workplace, so we try to keep a sturdy level ground at the same time.
That's awesome. So, how any tips or just kind of thoughts on how do you express that culture to folks that you might be interviewing to bring onto the team, or how do you kind of start looking for the right type of fit um, for the types of people that you want to be hiring and working with? Kind of what's been your philosophy in actually getting that message out there and attracting the best types of folks for your business?
I mean, it's really a lot of honestly trial and error. At the end of the day, getting up and going, you go through a bunch of different guys and workers and all that. And it's just kind of just putting them on a job, giving them the rundown on how things work, and then just letting them go for a little bit and see, kind of watch how they work, how they interact with us. So I mean, you can tell if a guy isn't going to work out with you just based on like your conversation with him and stuff like that.
And also something that I've come to, you really being in our position, especially, I mean, he's the main boss, but I like you got to really care about your people as well. And once they sense that they care, that you care about them, then that energy mainly gets reciprocated, 9 times out of 10. And if it isn't reciprocated, then that's when you really know that, this probably isn't going to work out for us in the long run. Also, work ethic too. It's not hard to show that you're eager to learn. If you're eager to learn, then the work ethic's going to show. And if that work ethic shows, then you can mess up 10 times and we're going to show you how to fix it 10 times. And it just based on your work ethic. If I see that you are ready, you're eager to learn, if you keep messing up, like 6 months down the road, then it's gonna, eventually it's gonna get of an issue. But realistically, in our industry, everything for the most part is fixable. So we are just big on work ethic, something that is huge. And also, like I said, just caring about your people, and that's how you get the best out of them, and we get the best out of us.
That's fantastic. So I want to take a step back and talk a little bit more about the business, about the products and services that you all provide. I always like to just ask the general question of like, who do you serve? Like, who's your primary target or your best customer? And now the way I like to frame it up is, if I'm watching this video later and I'm listening to this, how would I know I'm a really good fit to give you guys a call, or I might know somebody who's a really good fit to come work with y'all?
They have dead grass.
Dead grass, or honestly, a lot of things that people, our name is pretty misconceiving. We're US Turf, but we got skilled, talented people who work in all industry, or not work in all industries, that work for us in particular, that can do pretty much anything. We specialize in not just turf, but we can do pavers, concrete work. We are limestone retaining walls, things like that. We're extreme. We got a great team, or a couple teams with us that are, they wide range from many different expertises. And US Turf is a little misconceiving, but that's very minimal of what we can actually get done for you.
Very nice. So with there being a lot of other competitors or even kind of quasi competitors in the market, especially around here, why do your clients choose you? Why? Give me a little bit of context on why you believe you've had the success that you have. The business continues to grow. Why do folks continue to choose you over some of the other alternatives around here?
Um, I mean, one being we have great pricing compared to some of the other companies in town. Our product is incredibly nice. Like what we sell our top grass at, some of the other companies are selling their lower quality grass at for the same price. So there's that aspect of it. But I mean, I think really the biggest sale is, I mean, one, Jake, and then me when I'm doing estimates too. we're super personable when we go to do estimates. We act like a normal human being, not like a car salesman saying sign here, sign here, sign here. We try to we try to befriend our customers in a way. So I think that really helps out getting us business.
Yeah, my main thing when I go do and to a potential prospect is like he said, I try to be personable with them as well, but I also want them to, know the breakdown of the entire process because a lot of salesmen out there, they've been doing sales for a while, but I had the experience of being in the work field doing the actual installs for, roughly 4 years. So I have something that I believe that is slightly the upper hand, which is I have the knowledge of being there on site and showing people exactly how this install is going to go down. And just having that knowledge is such a upper, it's almost like a cheat code because um, I I can basically show them what it's going to be before it even happens. So it also is nice because that way they know that you actually know what you're doing as far as installing turf or pavers or whatever we end up doing for them. And also it just lets them, I feel like us being a little bit younger too and having that knowledge just kind of shows that we're in this for the long run and we don't want to we're not here to screw anybody over. We definitely take pride in our work and we're here, like I said, we're here for the longevity. We're planning on taking over, so this is the beginning of something huge that's happening, and we just like being personal with our customers, and I feel like it helps us greatly.
I love that. I specifically love the fact that you've got some of that knowledge and that expertise when you go out to a site and start doing estimates, that sort of thing. And I mean, at the end of the day, you're essentially removing some fears or some concerns or things like that that a potential customer may have, making it an easier process to walk through to feel and experience what that could look like at the end, which I think
Absolutely.
is often something that's just missed in general sometimes in sales processes. So I
Mhm.
absolutely love that. That's fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about marketing, and then we'll kind of shift away and start grabbing some additional nuggets for the audience here. Um, so Zach, you mentioned kind of having some strong marketing things like that in the Vegas market, starting to kind of bring it in and kind of stand it up out here. Talk us through kind of what's the philosophy of marketing. How do you get the word out there about what you all do?
Um, I mean, our whole thing since the beginning is just try to blast your name out there as much as possible, right? Just do everything you can, all the social media streams, everything online, just get your name out there, get it in front of people. And that's worked for us over the years. Just getting out there as much as possible, and trying to get that word of mouth started up, because it's hard when you come from completely across the country in a new state, trying to get things going. So we just try to blast U.S. turf out everywhere as much as we can, get it in front of as many people's eyes, and it's works out for us. So
For me, it's one of those kind of psychological things where, the more you see the name US Turf, when that time comes for them to need turf, that's going to be something that they first think of is, oh, I think I saw a US Turf or something. Plus our name is pretty simple. That's what we try to keep it as simple as possible so it's easier to remember as well.
and it's a big name too, right? U.S. Turf. It sounds like a massive company, which we are now. But it's the name and it speaks for itself. So.
I love it. So when you're kind of promoting some of that stuff out there, just getting name kind of recognition as much as possible. What's the headline? Is it just the name? Do you have kind of like here's the problem that we solve, or kind of what are some of the quote unquote ads? I didn't necessarily have to be like actual paid ads, but when you kind of like throw that out there, what tends to be the message that people see when you're blasting the name out there?
So I mean, obviously the name. We do a bunch of videos at job sites now of Jake talking, kind of explaining the yard. We post videos of our specials that we have going on, just kind of stuff like that.
For the most part, I like to try to tap into in Vegas, especially, they're in a major drought, and they have been for a while. So, and it seems to be that it's slowly trickling to be here in this, the Texas area too. So that's something that I, try to try to tap into a little bit is, save a little bit of water. One, a lot of or a lot of customers that I go to, they're tired of their grass dying. They've resodded their yard 3 times, things like that. They have trees that just don't let their yard get sun, so the grass doesn't grow, and there's a lot of scenarios where I always just express to them, you don't, first of all, it's a freshly mowed look all the time. There's very little maintenance. And, for people who are, let's say they have like a bunch of trees in their yard, green grass, whatever, artificial turf actually significantly decreases the mosquito population in your yard as well. So I know that's not the hugest thing, but me, I can't stand mosquitoes. I'm sure everyone is bothered by them a little bit at some point. So that's something that I like to, express a little bit as well.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned the kind of the drought stuff, and having been here since 2018, and I swear the last 2 years is just like it's slowly getting worse every summer with the lack of rain and everything, and I've learned personally about just some of the different cities and their access to water and like what they have access to, where like I think Round Rock is actually pretty solid, but you would go up to like Leander and they're basically out of water. They're the first
Yeah.
one of the first ones that just says, "Sorry, no watering, can't do anything else."
Yeah.
It's really crazy to that because of the population growth. There's just been so much more strain on the systems that were here, and it's really cool to kind of hear how do y'all tap into some of the knowledge around that to be able to kind of say, hey, there's alternatives. Here's things that you can do. So for those that are watching that are maybe experiencing that, and you look out your window like I do, and the grass does not look that great at this time of year, maybe give these guys a call. With that, I do want to be respectful of time. So I like to kind of shift into a couple what I call rapid fire questions, so just kind of pull some additional nuggets out for the audience. So I've got 4 questions in total. You both can answer them. But when you look at your journeys so far, through business, through life, etc., what would you say for you is your key to success?
Hmm.
Honestly,
Go
I
first.
think our key to success is we truly offer some of the best product that, like I said, we've been doing this for almost 7 years now. When we first started installing artificial turf, um, it was honestly embarrassing the quality that was out. And that's not just for us, that's just turf in general. And although these days turf has gone through the roof with the quality, but I have yet to see a quality of turf that's even close to ours, and our prices are just unbeatable at this point. So we take pride in definitely giving the best bang for your buck, and also the quality of work kind of speaks for itself too. So
Mm.
I think the key to success is offering a great product for a great price, and also our work ethic stands out. We are, we're some young hustlers, and we definitely take pride in this business. And like I said, we're here for the longevity. So we're young, but we're planning on doing this for the rest of our lives, and this is only the beginning for us.
And to add to that, I think this started in the very beginning because now obviously we've been doing this so long, we know how to do everything. But what really like separated us from the next turf company was that if we were faced with a problem, we figured out a way to fix that problem.
Mm.
We're always able we wouldn't back down when we were younger and just getting started. We wouldn't back down from a big job because we didn't know what to do. We would find the guys that knew how to do it, and we figured it out along the way and just made it happen. So we're go-getters the whole every step of the way, and it's just foot on the gas the whole way, and that's what really separated us from the next guys.
Very cool. If you could give just one piece of advice for other business owners and entrepreneurs out there, what piece of advice would you want to give them?
Honestly, I'll go first. You're gonna experience a lot of downs at the beginning of your venture of starting a business for sure. Maybe more downs than you do ups for a while, but consistency is key. And if you just get 1% better every single day, then that momentum is going to build, and eventually it will work out. And we're a product of that, especially because we started out like doing yard cleanups, and there was a point in time where we had, honestly, a few points in time where we thought, maybe this isn't what we should be doing. Maybe we should venture and try something else. But we just buckled down and grinded even harder, and eventually it blew up into something beautiful.
Yeah, you can't let the speed bumps in the road get to you. If you do, then you're not going to go anywhere. You just gotta figure out a way to get past them. We in the past we went through multiple times in the first few years of the company where we were completely out of money, and we would just go find smaller projects. Like the amount of palm trees that I've climbed to just trim for 30-40 bucks, just so we could put food on the table in the first few years of the company. um,
Adversity is always going to be there,
yeah,
and the true character is how you fight
you
adversity.
just got to keep your head up and just keep chugging along, and it'll work out eventually.
I love that. How about book recommendations? Any book recommendations you would leave for the audience? If it's easiest, I tend to frame it up with a book that you're either currently reading or listening to, or one that you've read or listened to recently. If nothing comes to mind, if it's podcast or something else that you'd recommend, give whatever recommendation you want, but something like learning focus that we can give to the audience.
Man, now we're talking. So right now, I actually am reading. The reason why I said the 1% better every day. I mean, it's a very popular book, Atomic Habits. I've just been, I've fully indulged in it the past few days, and definitely something that that those small little things build up and they create something big. And then another thing, this is more kind of spiritualish, but breaking the habit of being yourself. That's something that
Hmm.
definitely opened my mind up to just to experience different types of just different types of perspectives gives you really an open mind. And honestly, it definitely helped me figure out some things that I needed personally, which ended up being in the business world as well. So those two books definitely helped me out a little bit. And I mean, I feel like everyone's got to listen to Rich Dad Poor Dad at one point, you know?
Awesome.
I don't read books as often as I should, but one that I read recently was The Art of the Deal,
Hmm.
and it was just like one of those books that like really just spark a fire under you that just make you want to do big things, and so that kind of stuff helps me out. So The Art of
I
the
like
Deal.
I like it. Those are some really good recommendations. All right, final rapid fire question before we get to the last question of the day. And this one's just kind of fun. So I'm curious to hear both of your responses on this one. If you could only choose one area in the business, you only get to choose one, where you can take a little bit of magic dust and just sprinkle it all over that one area. You wake up tomorrow, it's 10 times better than it is today. Where would you choose to put that magic dust?
Marketing. Marketing's how you get business. Marketing's your whole business, in my eyes, anyways.
Mhm.
And so if that can just be perfect all the time and always have customers and leads coming in, then your business is good. So
Yeah, geez, this is a tough one. I was trying to think while he was talking. I mean, definitely marketing for sure, but I mean, man, I can't really think too much.
other one is laborers.
Well, yeah, I was thinking laborers, but I mean, that's all, that's like he said, that's trial and error. Those
Yeah,
they're gonna come and go as the company grows and
but the magic dust makes them perfect every time.
okay, yeah, definitely, probably the labor for sure.
It's awesome. So for those that are watching that want to learn a little bit more, that want to connect with y'all, that might be in need of some of the services that y'all provide, where can we advise them to go for a little bit more information and to connect?
You can give us a call direct, 512-831-1552. You can email us,
Go to our website,
go to our website. It's
austin.usturf.com, I believe.
yeah.
Something that we don't shy away from either is, people hit us with a bunch of questions all the time, and sometimes they don't even want to do an estimate. And that's something that I take pride in because I personally believe that I don't want to say I'm an expert in this, industry right now because there's always growth, there's always more to learn and there's always growth to be attained. But I never shy away from people asking me questions. I like to share my knowledge as much as possible. So
Also on Instagram, at US Turf TX. Find us there too.
Awesome. Make a note of all these. I'll put them in the video description below. So as soon as we wrap up, for those of you watching, wait till we finish. But once we finish up, scroll down to the bottom here, grab the links, grab the phone number, grab everything, and make sure that you reach out, you connect, you check out social media, all that fun stuff. But gentlemen, as we wrap up, I do like to end on one very specific question. And that question is, what is most inspiring to you today?
Inspiring. I think what's most inspiring is honestly, I feel like there's a lot of times where, this is could go in any type of different aspect in life, whether it's a relationship, a business, whether it's family. But there's times where, some people they don't got their 100% to give that day, and something that we kind of take pride in is if he can only give that 30%, then I'm right there with the 130 or the 170% to give that little extra oomph to him. And it's vice versa too. If there's times where even me and him aren't really, we're sick or something and we don't have that full 100% to give, we got great workers who, again, we care about them, so they care about us, and they definitely pick up the slack when they need to. And that's something that's inspiring, is that we really gotta we got a well-oiled machine that's just cruising along, and slowly but surely, this thing's going to be a cruise ship.
Probably what inspires me to keep pushing the most is just looking back on what we came from, like where we started.
God, that's good.
And just like everyone in our whole organization now, just seeing how hard everyone works with us and everything like that just pushes me to just keep going and just trying to keep staying on top. So
I love that. Well, I want to say thank you again for taking the time to sit down. I know we could probably, chat for another 30 minutes on a whole bunch of different experiences and stuff that y'all have been through, but just want to say thank you for taking the time. This has been a lot of fun to kind of learn a little bit more, hear a few things that y'all are doing, and just kind of hear about the growth as you continue to build the business. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
This was fun.
Mhm.